Here to tell you about how to make the perfect necro. I am going to log in right now. So I thought this would be a very good thing to do. So you want to have certain stats for a necromancer. And I think if you're going to play a necromancer, you might as well do this. Give me a moment. Okay. This is not going to be a long... This is only for putting up on YouTube, Daniel. I'm putting this up on YouTube. Let me do like that. Hey, Smilers, welcome in. I'm doing a review of EverQuest stats. Like perfect. I don't know how to do that. Anyways, so what you want is you want stamina number 1 and you want intelligence number 2. Stamina is for HP. Intelligence is for mana. You want to have high mana. For perfect items, you want a pre-nerf Circlet of Shadows because it is instacast. And you want J-Boot because it allows you to run faster. This is a must for every single class in the game. If you don't have one, get one. It's a must. This is one of those kind of items that you really need. Another item that you should get is... Hold on. Move that out of the way. Nope. The Shining Bauble. The Shining Bauble is important. This item right here is a must for necros. It's free clicky, more health, more mana, and bobbing corpse for free. There is another item, which is of course the Staff of Dreaded Gaze, which is useful, but it has a very slow cast time. As you can see, it drops off Chalgaz. You want that? If you want to get one, you should. It's not absolutely required, but I think you should get at least... The J-Boots are the most important. The J-Boots and the Circlet of Shadow. Those stats are kind of nice. The next one I'm going to be talking about is Enchanter. Now, Enchanter has quite a lot of... How you doing, Smilers? By the way, how you doing, man?
Oh, I just want to get a ticket. Oh, still get a combo game, man. Give up.
That it? Well, what is this game? Ooh. No problem. I'll be gone soon. It's kind of creepy looking.
Oh, fuck you.
So enchanters, one of the things that have, you want really, really high charisma. You want to have very high charisma because your base charisma affects how effective your charms are. You want to have the ability to keep charms as long as possible, and having 200 charisma is very nice. But having extra health, see the stamina, having extra health is also really nice. It allows you to get beaten up without dying a lot. And I would say also you want a lot of intelligence because you need mana. Now for clickies, you want this, the Rod of Insidious Glamour. It allows you to be able to cast a faction spell on enemies. You want a insta-cast like the Shrunken Goblin Skull Earring. The Shrunken Goblin Skull Earring. It's an insta-cast and allow you to reset your cast times. It's very useful. It's extremely good to have. You overall just want to have some decent stuff and stats. I would say that some races are more suitable than others for certain classes. For example, for necromancers, of course you want J boots as well. If you don't have J boots, you are going to die. But the optimal stats is to have a class with a lot of intelligence and a lot of charisma. Because you really need that charisma. For wizard, you want a flux staff. This is for kiting classes. This is a guide for all the kiting classes that can solo. You want a flux staff. You want this thing. It'll allow you to pull enemies, and I think it's insta-cast, or it has a cast time. And it'll allow you to pull mobs, and it lowers their resist. You of course want the J boots, and of course you want to have a lot of intelligence. Oh boy, you are going to need intelligence. See, wizards are so mana intensive that you really want to have as much intelligence as possible. Of course, my opinion, the best race is not the fucking erudite. This guy is blind as a bat. You do not want to be an erudite. It's the worst class, literally the worst race. I do not like being blind. It's not fun to be completely blind. Like other classes are bad, but this one is tough. Now for shamans, I don't have a shaman on this count, but for shamans, you want to have a massive amount of stamina priority. You want a shit ton of stamina, and you want a shit ton of wisdom. Actually, you want a shit ton of wisdom and a shit ton of stamina. You want as much stamina as possible. Stamina is so important as a shaman, just as much so as a necromancer, because they both drain their health for mana. Oh wait, I don't have a shaman here. Okay, so ogres are best in slot for shamans because they have frontal stuns and allow you to solo shit that you can't solo before. You want to have maximized amount of stamina. You're going to need that health. You're going to need to be able to get lots of health to be able to summon, fight stuff. Of course, you're going to need a lot of wisdom too. A lot of wisdom, a lot of stamina. If you can get to 200, you'll be better off. Now, for Necro, in my opinion, best in slot is Ixar, because you got natural health regeneration and armor, but you got the XP penalty for it. So I wouldn't advise playing as other races. I mean, I don't know if I would advise playing a Ixar if you're a newbie, because it's a little bit frustrating. It's a very big open zone with a lot of enemies of varied levels. It's great for people who are very knowledgeable, but you will die. And they do have solo zones. So that is my guide. When it comes to gear for Shaman, there are a few pieces you want. You want, of course, the fungi tunic. Oh god, you want a fungi tunic. You want this bad boy. You have to get this fungi tunic. It's best in slot until high level. Until you get torpor, this thing is going to be your best in slot. Your best friend. And if you could, fungi... If you can afford one of these, even better. Get both of those items, and you'll have even more health regeneration. Between these two items, you will never run out of health. And then you'll be able to just life tap infinitely. Like, until you get higher level, your regeneration is bad. Until you get to level 40, your health regeneration is going to be bad. And as for other things, for high level, there's a bracer. The one for the shaman. What is it fucking called? What is that shaman equipable? I'm trying to remember the name of it. But it has a certain proc on it. Where's the bracer? Also, I forgot something. I forgot something very important. Oh, it's one of these. Where is it? Nope. It's the one with Winter's Roar. It's the one with this spell here. See, this one. Jaundice Bone Bracelet. You want this set. Because it's got a proc of Winter's Roar for 300 and something damage. It's a great clicky. I forgot to mention another clicky you want for Enchanter. And it's the Goblin Gazugi Ring. Now, the reason why you want this is because it is instacast and it will instantly break your charm. You absolutely want this. It will make charm kiting amazing. Where the fuck is this enemy? Where is that item? I don't know. My spelling is terrible today. This one. You want this ring. It's worth 6 to 6.5K. But it's worth it. It's insta-cast. And it'll instantly break charms. If you have this, you can plan out your charming and make it so that it's really efficient. If you see your pet is about to die, you can break it. And then you can work on something else. Now for a shaman parts. Is there anything else that I can think of? I think not. For bard, on the other hand, there are multiple stats you can do for a bard. You could play a half-elf bard. You get slightly higher stats. Having slightly higher strength will allow you to be better melee. And you'll have slightly better dexterity. Having higher dexterity will allow you to not miss as many notes as instruments. And of course, charisma is really useful because it'll allow you to charm. And bards do get decent charms. You could do some decently high level charms. You could play a wood elf, of course. Which actually has higher... Wood elves have higher agility. They have higher dexterity and less strength. But you have pretty good... You have overall pretty good charisma. See, half-elf is... The half-elf is 85. It's got 95 dexterity, 75 strength. The half-elf is more tanky. I mean, more damage. Does better damage. Unfortunately. But he has... You have very good dexterity. Then you could also be something else. You can be a human bard. Human bards tend to be more balanced around. Welcome in, Raven. Now for instrumentation, I would say that the for instrumentation, you want the lute of the Gypsy Princess. This one here is really good. It's fairly cheap. It's 21 string instrument. The reason why you want this is because it'll give you better effects on your instruments. Having stronger instruments is better. And this one is a modifier 21. And string instruments are very nice because you have your healing item, your healing songs, and some other stuff. Use stringed instruments. So having better string instrument allows you to heal better. Now, drums of the march, I think, or drums of the beast is good. If you can get one of these, it has a percussion. There's other types of drums. This one is a little bit too expensive. You want to eventually get this one, but these ones are very expensive. You could, of course, get the Lute of the Howler. Werewolf Illusion will allow you to run around. Because the Werewolf Illusion allows you to run around, you could go into Velgators in werewolf form, and the spiders won't attack you. It's extremely nice. Bards are just... They're one of those kinds of classes where they're really solid overall with very little gear. They're extremely powerful. They have limitations though. They're less effective indoors. Now the last class that I haven't mentioned is Druid. And I don't know everything about Druid. I will have to research that one and I'll make a longer thing about Druid. But Druids are one of those kind of classes where... Let me actually start doing the Druid. Let me see if I can think about it, some stuff. Druid. So you could be limited to Wood Elf for Druid. Human as a Druid. And Halfling as a Druid. It could be either Halfling, Wood Elf, or Human. You're going to need a lot of wisdom because you're going to AE kite. You want some charisma because if you charm bears in Bear Pit, you're going to need a lot. So I would say Wood Elf is probably best in slot for you. Although humans have also really solid stats. They have overall really good stats. But Wood Elf is probably best in slot. I would say you want to have a lot of wisdom and a lot of charisma. For items, here's a few suggestions. The Lumi Staff. The Lumi Staff is an item that is worth 6,000 plat. You want this because it does 6,000. It does Lightning Strike for free. It's a free cast item. It's level 35 spell, and it's level. You need level 46 to use it, but it does like I think it's 100 or something or 200 damage. It does almost 200 damage. It's a free clicky though, and it has a long cast time. So you have to get used to the timer. You of course want to have Spirit of the Wolf spell on you at all times while doing this, or you'll likely be turning into wolf. I think this is the one class where you don't need J-Boots. In fact, J-Boots might be useless on you. Because you got Spirit of the Wolf with his superior. You actually don't need the J-Boots on this class. The chess piece I had, which is the Kael chess piece, is extremely useful because it has Regrowth of the Grove. That's very, very helpful. I don't remember what the pants did. I don't remember what the pants did for shamans. I mean, druids, I mean. Circle of Misty. Okay, it's not super useful for soloing. But the bracers are good. The Nature's Walker's bracers are good. They got Drones of Doom for finishing off enemies. All you gotta do is get that one. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's an item that has Snare. There's an item that has a free Snare clicky. What was it? Earring of Woven Bark. That's another item you want. This here. Earring of Woven Bark. This is cheap. And it's free Snare. If you get this, you can finish off enemies. And that concludes my classes. Thank you guys for being here. I will see you